We are putting together a series of 5 videos for people who feel the call to become sound healing practitioners, but don't know where to start. Over these 5 videos, we will walk you through exactly what it takes, from breaking the beliefs that stop most people before they begin, to building a practice that creates a real and meaningful life. This is part 1. In this video, I want to share the one thing that stops most people from ever becoming a sound healing practitioner, and why it doesn't have to stop you. Most people believe that to work with sound, you need some kind of musical background. You need to play an instrument, read music, or at least have a natural feel for it. But I can't sing. I never played an instrument in my life, and I built one of the most respected sound healing practices in Southeast Asia because musical ability has nothing to do with it. I found sound healing during a migraine attack, desperate for relief, searching YouTube at my lowest point, not as a musician, not as a healer, just as someone who needed help. In this video, I'll show you what the other side of this path looks like and what you actually need to start. None of it which have anything to do with music. Let me ask you something. From the outside, your life probably looks perfect. A high-paying job, holidays, travel, responsibilities that make you feel important. A structure that tells you every day exactly who are you and where you need to be. You build all of it and it looks good. But there is this feeling, a quiet one, that something is missing. That despite everything you have built, the job, the lifestyle, the structure, this life is not quite yours. You are not really living it. You are running it on autopilot, day after day, moving through a life that looks exactly like it should, while somewhere inside, the real you is waiting. The life is passing and you are watching it from the outside. I know that feeling. My wife Ploy and I run a coffee shop, 6 o'clock in the morning to 9 at night, every day. We built something. It was ours, but slowly, without noticing, it started to take everything from us. The exhaustion crept in, then the anxiety, then the weight. The headaches got worse, the sleep got worse. We kept going because that's what you do when you build something. Until one day, my body stopped me completely. A migraine attack. Desperate for relief, I went to YouTube looking for anything that would help. I wasn't looking for a life change. I wasn't looking for a new path. I just needed the pain to stop. That search changed everything. Most people never get that moment of clarity, not because the feeling isn't there. It is, but because they believe that a path like this requires something they don't have: a musical background, a natural talent for sound, some kind of experience they were never given. That belief is the one thing stopping them, and it was never true. So what does the other side look like? Not the idea of it, the reality. You stop living by someone else's timetable. You stop building something that drains you and start building something that gives back. Your body starts to recover. Your mind gets quieter. You feel more grounded, more aware, more like yourself. You sleep better. You eat differently. You make decisions from a different place, not from stress or obligation, but from clarity. And practically, you build something real. A sound healing practice that helps people. Something you can scale. Something that creates a lifestyle, not just an income. You are not trading hours for a salary anymore. You are building something that is yours, that grows with you, that means something to you, and that truly changes the life of people you work with. This is not a fantasy. This is what happens when someone walks this path seriously. The only question is, what is stopping you from starting? For most people, the answer is the same, and it has nothing to do with talent. So where does this belief come from? It makes sense on the surface. Sound healing involves sound. Sound make you think of music. Music make you think of training, of talent, of years of practice. The logic feels obvious, but it is the wrong connection entirely. Playing a singing ball is not a musical act. You are not performing. You are not composing. You are not reading notes or keeping rhythm. You are working with vibration, with the way sound moves through the body and the nervous system as well. That has nothing to do with whether you can carry a tune or play a chord. I cannot sing. I have never played an instrument in my life. Not one lesson, not one note. And yet, sound healing gave me back my health, my peace of mind, and eventually my purpose. It became my life's work. It became Jangala Phuket. The belief that you need a musical background is not just wrong, it is exactly the belief that keeps the most genuine, most open-hearted people from ever starting. If you have felt the call to do this practice, your musical ability or lack of it is completely irrelevant. So, if it is not musical ability, what do you actually need? 3 things: time, willingness to invest, and an open mind. The first 2 are straightforward, but the open mind, that one goes deeper than it sounds. Open mind starts with a moment of honesty. The moment you look at your life, the job, the structure, the routine you have built. Ask yourself seriously, is this what I actually want? Is this what fills me? Not what looks good, not what makes sense on paper, what actually fills you. For most people, that question is uncomfortable because the honest answer is no. And saying no means something has to change. That is the first layer of open mind, the awareness that despite everything you have built on the outside, something on the inside is still waiting. The second layer is willingness to receive something new, something you might not be familiar with, something you might have dismissed before as too spiritual, too alternative, too far from the life you know. Sound healing is not what most people expect, and that is exactly the point. You do not need to understand it fully before you begin. You just need to be willing to sit with it, to let it land before you judge it. That openness, that willingness to show up without a fixed idea of what it should be is all that this path requires of you at the start. Let me tell you exactly how this started for me. My wife Ploy and I were running our coffee shop 15 hours a day, 6 days a week. We pushed for years, and slowly, without realizing it, the body was keeping score. Knee injuries, shoulder injuries, neck and lower back problems, daily headaches, monthly migraines. My immune system was breaking down. My sleep was gone. I stopped seeing the point of things. What I was experiencing at the time, I can only describe as depression. I did not plan what happened next. During one of the worst migraine attacks, I went to YouTube, not looking for a life change, not looking for healing, just looking for something, anything that would make the pain stop. Found a sound meditation video. I put it on. It worked. That one YouTube search reconnected me with something I had touched briefly 30 years earlier and forgotten completely. And it was enough to make me want to go deeper. I traveled to Nepal. I discovered that Nepal is one of the very few places in the world where the authentic Himalayan art of sound meditation is still taught in its original form. I found a teacher. I committed to the training. During that training, something happened that I still think about. A painful condition I had been living with for months just disappeared completely within 4 or 5 days. Without medicine, without intervention, just through the practice. I came back to Phuket a different person. 15 kilograms lighter, no more headaches, no more migraines, clearer in mind, more at peace. I started practicing with friends. The results were immediate. Word spread, and that is how Jangala Phuket was born. I was not a musician. I was not a healer. I was not on a spiritual path, just someone who needed help and was open to receive it. So let me bring this back to you. You have heard the story. You understand what open mind means. You know that musical background, experience, the right equipment, none of it is what this path requires of you. What it requires is simpler, a decision, not a plan, not a qualification, not a studio or a set of balls or certificate on the wall. Just the decision to show up, to be willing to take one step forward, even if it feels unfamiliar. I believe this deeply. If you believe strongly in something and you fight for it, you can achieve everything. A healthy body, healthy mind, a life that is actually yours. There are no limitations. The only limitation are the ones you accept as true before you even begin. The belief that you need a musical background, that was a limitation you accepted before you even tried. Now you know it was never true. The question is not whether you are ready. The question is whether you are willing to start. I have given you a lot to think about in this video. And knowing this is one thing, but you are probably still wondering what sound healing actually looks and sounds like in practice. Ploy and I put video together, free 60-minute sound healing and therapy masterclass, where we walk you through the roots of Himalayan sound healing, the different type of balls, and how to use each one of it effectively, and how to actually make healing sounds, even if you have never touched a ball in your life. The link is in the description. It is completely free. The only thing that was stopping you was a belief that was never true. But believing you can do this is just the first step. The next question is just as important. How do you make sure that when you start, you learn it the right way, from the right source, with the right foundation? That is what we cover in the next video. If you want to follow along with this series, make sure you subscribe. The next video is coming soon. See you in the next one.